So I want to respond to this debate that's happening on Big J's panel. I was asleep when this live stream took place. However, I disagree with several things that May is saying in here, because she's saying that they don't want to get involved when it comes to other people except for Black Americans. Okay, that's her right to say that. But what she is failing to realize, or doesn't care, because she basically is backing Trump. And I want to play the part where she says that she feels that when Trump said that he only wanted the 14th Amendment to be about black slaves in America, and she said that she feels, and I want to play the clip, that he sees it as those are my cousins. Oh no, he doesn't see you as his cousins. Excuse me. Trump himself is the exact same anchor baby that he speaks about Hispanic people being, or people from the Caribbean being, or Haitians being, or Africans being. Not even talking about the Asians. I'm just talking about those bloodlines, right? He is the exact same anchor baby. And all of his children are those anchor babies that he complains about. Okay? So, just a little history in case you don't know. Trump's mother was from Scotland. Trump's father, his father immigrated from Germany, came here. So his father is one generational American. Not even. His father was an anchor baby. Let's be honest. If we're using the term anchor baby, right? I don't like that term, but I'm going to tell you, when the pot is calling the kettle black, or ... he's all of the things he's saying. He does not see you as his cousin. He doesn't have the historic family lineage to call you his cousin. So get that out your head, because he don't see you as his cousin at all. And then you said that you won't get involved until, what did you say, Tynesha or something you said, a slang for a Black American woman in the ghetto is what you said. When you see her getting ripped out of her foundation in America, then you're going to step in. By the time you step in, May, that is plan number 2, which is forced slavery. Well, they're already starting to do it with certain ethnic groups right now. He's already saying that. But you're talking about a history that is repeating itself as you see right now in America. Constitutional laws being broke left and right daily. And somehow you think that Black Americans aren't going to be the next on the chopping block and or repeating history. I don't know where your head's at, but please don't ever call Trump or think that Trump thinks of you as a family member or his cousin, because he doesn't. I'm going to play part of this because I want to speak on some of this, because I was appalled at hearing you think that he thinks you're his cousin. Girl, he's showing, it's a trip, is the Black Manosphere was promoting Trump, and saying he's not a racist, and I said he's a racist. Me and Big J have been saying for over 10 years plus, he's a racist, before he got elected the first time. He's a racist. And everybody in the manosphere was saying, nah, he's not a racist. He loves black people. He hates black people. He hates anybody that is brown. He wants the ethno state of his dreams, which is white. Okay? And honey, he's not fitting Black Americans into that program, only in a certain slot, and that's going back into slavery. That's what that's what he's hoping to accomplish for Black Americans. Let me play this.
A Black American, you could trace your family all the way back into, for some people, all the way back into when the ships landed here. So issue, I think we don't need to get riled up about. This is propaganda to get us.
Let me comment on that. So in this white ethno state has been lying and deceiving people from the jump start of its inception. It has been tricking people, and it has went in and gutted it's gutted a lot of the agencies that you think is going to be there for you when you can track back your lineage, and that is not true. So when they go to revoke, and they say, when he says he's going to deport actual natural born citizens and citizens alone, he's not lying. He's going to do it. So when you think you can track your lineage, and you probably can, you probably have the records to track it back. However, they are not an honorable administration. So whatever you can track back, they don't give a fuck. That's what you don't understand. They don't care. So if you think you're in a safe zone because you feel like you can track it all the way back wherever, this is an administration that has never cared about checks and balances and righteousness and the law of order. They don't care. So when you, and I believe you can, however, they don't give a fuck. Continue.
Put fear in us.
I don't think we should condone it.
I'm with Queen on this.
I don't say condone it, but
I've heard Queen say a lot of things that I agree with.
Yeah, that might be kind of fucked up, but okay. And keep it moving. But not get all wrapped up in this shit, because they trying to wrap us up. They trying to get us out there to march with all them other people, and we are not immigrants.
So let me just say this. I understand Black Americans not marching because they really have a target on their back. This is what Trump is. He's waiting for that moment. He's waiting for Black Americans to get out there so he can implement martial law. So in that accord, I am in sync with them concerning that. They want Black Americans to get out there so they can blame Black Americans for what's going on. I mean, Big J, when he started this live stream, was talking about fire chief from several counties over that have nothing to do with the county that got hit, and blaming him, and then calling it DEI. So we already know that that's going to happen. So I understand that fully. Trust. I understand that fully, because the first ones that are going to be targeted, it's going to be the Black Americans out there in the streets protesting. And a lot of other racial groups don't understand the history in America when civil rights was kicked off and they had dogs attacking them and they were sprayed with water hoses, high pressure water hoses, and all kinds of things. So they don't understand that American history. They don't understand it. However, I get Black Americans not getting out there and protesting, but to sit up and think that Trump has got your back, he's a fucking lying snake, and he doesn't have Black Americans' backs. Let's continue.
No, I never marched. I don't do the marching.
I'm not marching for shit. I'm just saying.
They're trying to get us wrapped up in this fear monger.
True.
They're trying to get us wrapped up in this fear monger,
True.
and this still ain't a true Black American issue, because at the end of the day, his parents were still immigrants. Our parents, at least I know mine is not, and mine can be traced all the way back.
And I can trace mine back, but that doesn't mean
this is not
anything.
a true Black American issue. This is
It's
like
not.
an immigrant.
No, it's
like
not,
an
but I don't think we should
immigrant.
oh, he ain't a full Black American, so, oh well, so, like I said, that's borderline walking.
No, I'm not saying, oh, well. I'm saying, yeah, if it's true, that might be fucked up, but that's still.
Let me just say this, because a lot of us have the paperwork to track back, right? But there are parents that are literally taking the birth certificate of their children to go in there that have been detained by ICE and pulled in by ICE. And ICE didn't give a fuck about them. Like, for one instance, a mother brought in her 19-year-old, 18-year-old son's birth certificate, and they still fucking held him in the camp. So you're acting as if this is a lawful administration that's going to abide by the fact that you have your birth certificates, you can track your lineage back. They don't give a fuck. This is why it's everybody's fight. This is why you have to be fighting for everybody, because at that point, when you think it comes to you, by that time it's too fucking late. It's going to be too fucking late. And I'm just saying, right now it might even be too late. All right, let's continue.
Not a Black American issue. And we don't need to get wrapped up in that. Because they're trying to wrap us up.
We got to pick our battles.
I
do. So we should pay attention to it. I do think
this I do agree with May. You have to pick your battles. Because at this point, it's a battle for every little thing. And at this point, everybody's going to be worn down to a frazzle. Because there's so much shit going on. We, as a collective American citizens, what we need to do is let the lawyers and the judges do what they're supposed to do. And whatever we can contribute to that, we can contribute to that to help them. Whatever that means, whatever that looks like. But picking a complete battle, there's battles all over America right now for our rights. And it's not just a racial factor, it's a religious factor. It is so many things that the battles are taking place. So when May says that, I agree, May.
We gotta pick our battles. That's what we've learned in 400 years. We gotta pick our battles, and we gotta be smart and strategic. That's what we know as Black Americans.
I'm not saying that we should get it wrong. I'm saying that's something that we should pay attention to. And I understand that the immigrant problem is American. We don't like it. We want it fixed and all of that. But I don't think we should condone when they get it wrong. When they get it wrong, we should be like, yo, y'all might want to pay more attention to what you're doing. But I'm not saying we need to go march and give them back. Look, I'm not saying none of that. I'm just saying, look, that was a citizen. By whatever means he became a citizen.
Exactly.
Like what you doing. Just pay attention
you know
to
what? You know who problem that is? That is a immigrant that did the paperwork issue. They need to be out there fighting for him.
Right.
The ones that did the paperwork.
So she thinks that it's an immigration paperwork thing, and it might be. However, when shit really hits the fan in this country, and they really get on the rampage of wanting to make the super white ethno state, it won't matter that you have legit paperwork in this United States at that point. So if you think the paperwork you have is going to keep you safe, it's fucking not. Open your eyes.
I'm not saying we should watch it.
Wait, with you, I'm not saying with you. I'm saying what I see on social media and how they trying to conjure up this fear to get Black people to get out in the streets and fight. But this is not a Black American issue. This is actually
it's everybody issue.
An immigrant that did the paperwork issue. This is their issue. An immigrant that did the paperwork issue.
No, and this is an everybody issue right now.
So all the Africans, all the Caribbeans, and Asians that did the paperwork and became a citizen the right way, they need to be out there marching and raising hell for this Jamaican dude, which they're not. Guess who they bothering? Us. No.
So in that aspect, I understand, because Black Americans have always been very for the forerunners in civil rights. So I get that. However, and I also get that propaganda has created an environment for Asian communities and other communities in the United States to go against Black Americans. I understand that as well. It's sickening, but I understand it. But this is an everybody issue. This is an everybody issue.
They bothering us, trying to get us wrapped up in this shit. No?
I tell you when I am actually going to be concerned. I'm going to be honest with y'all.
This is the part I want to hear.
You say, oh, you need to be concerned, you need to take action or anything like that. I'm going to tell you as a Black foundational American when that's going to happen for me. When I see Taquisha being dragged out the hood, or I see Evelyn from the suburbs and she Black and they put her on a Delta flight to Africa, and I know for a fact that this is an African American by birthright, not African American, but a foundational Black American by birthright, that's when I'm going to be worried. when I see somebody in my exact situation that reflects our FBA status in mass being done like that, then I'm gonna be concerned. Then I'm gonna be ready for.
By that time, May, it's too late. Because Black Americans are going to be the last on the hit list. Because the hatred for Black Americans by this administration is so deep, they want to savor the pain for Black Americans to be last. So I don't know if you realize that.
Action. But before that, I'm not concerned about not nobody. It's not my business. I'm resting.
Oh, it's your business.
Yep.
In the comments, real quick. Yeah, in the comments, real quick. Telescope made a comment. He said that we have a reputation for being silly, emotional, and childlike. I think that's how people have tried to portray us, as silly, emotional, and childlike. And they think that they like to say that when we stand up and we fight back and we let our voices be known and put up resistance. They try to paint that as childish, emotional, uninformed, uneducated. But we know we rock this shit. We make this motherfucking country move. It has always responded to us that way because we are who we are. And so
So her having said that, and I don't disagree with a lot of the stuff she just said, because when it comes to music, when it comes to a certain aspect of spirituality that moves through the United States, Black America have contributed that 100 million fold. Okay, so I don't dispute that. Let's continue.
I think that what's happening is white people, the cousins, they didn't know that we had the back code. They didn't quite know we was on code like we are. They didn't know. And even me, I'm somewhat surprised that we flow like an army of people together on the same page, understanding everything. And like I say all the time, everything understood don't have to be said. We are to the point where we are telepathically connected. When I see certain Black folks doing stuff, I say, oh, they on code. I know what that is. And as a whole Black nation, FBAs are unified. We are sending out the back call constantly. We are minding our business, saving our energy for our own fight. We not finna have nothing to say, and we don't care because this ain't about us. And I think the whole world is just like, but they're so supposed to be emotional, and they're supposed to be violent. Why are they not violent? We never were violent, motherfucker.
True.
You saw us wrong. Now you can see us right. That's what got them nervous, because they thought they had us pegged. They thought they understood us, and they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They're confused. They confused.
So having said that, I just want to address the part where I know that other nations of people are looking for Black Americans to step up and do that. And the reason why they're looking for Black Americans to step up is because of the influence the Black Americans have contributed when it comes to a lot of different factors in America, culturally. So that is, I mean, in one way you could take it as a compliment, or you could, however you feel about it. But that is why they see Black Americans with a lot of strength. Even though they may not say it, they see it. So why they're asking Black Americans to step up is because they do see that. They do see the influence. When you have white TikTokers doing the same dances that Black Americans have created, and their music, using their music to bite off of, that's a fact. That's 100% a fact. So culturally, Black Americans do have a lot of influence and sway over America, point blank, period. However, when you're talking about a white racist regime like we're under, they don't give a fuck, because they hate that energy. They hate all of the things you contribute, because it is very influential, and they want that type of influence. This is why we are under this type of shit that we're under right now, of them feeling inferior. These white Americans that voted for Trump, wanting to control everybody, is that inferiority they feel to the core of who they are. And why? they're targeting everybody and saving Black Americans for last. I'm just telling you. Let's continue.
We're going to end the African American Museum. And we like, and that is not stopping the flow of any of us doing what we got to do on a daily basis. Well, we're going to do this, and we're going to go do it.
I hope everybody's keeping records and keep all those artifacts, so when this shit is over, it can be put back up, because that's fucked up. The history of Black Americans of them doing that is fucked up. I'm sorry. I hope that we are going in there and we are timelining everything that's being destroyed, and we are taking all those artifacts, and we are taking all of the paper trails when it comes back to historic events and all the historic who belongs here and who belongs there and all those things. I hope that everything is being backed up, because we're gonna fucking need it when this shit is over. Continue.
Cares. We have discipline. We have discernment. We're smart, intelligent people, and we move together. That's how we've always moved together, on the same page, collectively. And that shit is shocking the world. You hear me? It's shocking the world.
Yeah.
How is it possible? How is it possible? Because we on code. Y'all don't know nothing about it. That's all.
And I wonder how they're going to, we going to try to attack this new, because I would say this newfound Black American patriotism, because we never truly had that. We never truly had that. We always aligned ourselves with, because I would say a lot of us did this to ourselves too, with we don't have no culture here, we don't have no placement here, we're African, we're connected to Africa, and now this.
There's no culture. Everybody across the globe is using African American, whatever they want to call you, Black Americans in America's culture. So hip hop, everything is being used. When I look on social media, even the music of today, I see nothing but Black American music used for these TikToks. And it doesn't matter whether you're an Asian, Hispanic, white, they're using these for dance and culture. So we have the culture. Black Americans have the culture. It's always been here. It just hasn't been defined. It's been used, but it hasn't been defined. Even if you go back into the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000, all of the music being used, all the characters or whatever you want to call it, have been used. So that spice and flow, or that energy that May is talking about, it's been taken up for years and years and years and centuries and decades and decades and decades and centuries, right? It's been used. So let's continue.
Flip, because this is a complete flip. Because even white America has gotten used to us with this, with that state of mind of saying we're not. We're not a part of this country. We're that. So I was thinking, I'm like, how will white America try to, because I know they're going to have an issue with this, because they see themselves, just like the African and Caribbean immigrants, as the only Americans. See, all them African, Caribbean, and whites, they are the white people as the true Americans. But now that Black Americans are saying, we have just as much stock in this country too. How is that going to shape this country?
Everybody has stock in this country. When you have had migrant workers working here for over 50 or 60 plus years, picking fruits and vegetables to feed America and house America by building their homes, cleaning their streets, they also have a fucking stake in America. Okay?
How is that going to be attacked? Because of course it's going to try to be attacked. What do you think? Like,
you know what? That's a good point that you're bringing up. And I think that what happened was while Trump was being the biggest racist he could be, black people, white people, I think all of us were shocked that he shows up on TV and he lays the foundation. Now, can that change in the future? Maybe. Can the tides turn and attitudes turn later on? Maybe it was strategic and maybe it wasn't
it was
authentic.
Strategic.
But he's going to stand on business, fighting, saying, those blacks, and I'm not trying to be funny, but those are my blacks. That's kind of what he did. Those are my blacks. They belong to America. We claiming them. Them are the cousins. Everybody else got to go, but the cousins.
May, you're getting it twisted. Let me tell you why he said that. And this is what made me get pissed and make this. He don't see you as cousins, but he definitely sees you as a slave for the future. That's what he fucking sees. And I'm going to end it right there. He doesn't have your back. It is very strategic because they want to put the most hurt and pain on black Americans of today than he has ever, or that this administration or this history of America has ever done before. So don't get it twisted. He doesn't see you as his cousin. They see you as their future slaves. Point blank, period. Open your eyes.